Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips a balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this comes from a Reddit post, and this was 4 days ago. Exclusive: 2 more women accuse Neil Gaiman of sexual assault and abuse. From Tortoise. And then somebody puts questionable source. You know, that's a joke. The 97-something jackal. Report from a different thread about the exact story. Okay, look. If CNN, ABC, AP News, and a bunch of other mainstream news sites aren't covering this, something's funky. Because it is so damn easy to make an article on this sort of thing. All a reporter has to do is connect to the subject of the original piece, ask for verification, and boom. Most of the work has already been done. The fact hasn't happened. The fact that, it's supposed to be the fact that that hasn't happened means something is preventing these larger sites from contacting the victims. Does this mean that Neil is blocking them with toxic litigations or threats of violence? Maybe. He's a Scientologist, too. Does that mean the story is utter bullshit? Maybe. Oh, I highly doubt that. And frustratingly, anything between those 2 points is a valid reason for this to not be covered by another source. I hate this. Edit. Rolling Stone did cover this back in the beginning of July of this year. I'm not going to click on that right now. Unfortunately, there is nothing concrete from this. Rolling Stone apparently wasn't even able to contact the woman in question. And the New Zealand police weren't able... Listen to this stuff. Come on, you guys. Wakey, wakey. And the New Zealand police weren't able to give them a definitive answer. Or so Rolling Stone claims. So the claims by these women have some actual weight to them. But no one can officially say if they are meaningful or not. Fucking hate this. Delightful dinosaur. Rolling Stone doesn't exactly have the best history. Yeah, I don't really respect Rolling Stone at all when it comes to reporting sexual assault accusations. They've lost several lawsuits over false accusations being published. There's that, I don't know what stories those were, but it's always they're false accusations. People that do actually do that, they always say, oh, I didn't do it. They're lying. And if you have a lot of money, you can sue and all that. 97th Jackie. Banished to the shame car. That's kind of funny. Well, at least in this one, they avoided direct accusations. Did you have links to those stories that needed to be retracted, the lawsuits? Yeah, that'd be interesting. Mr. McDude. I'm not the guy you are applying to, but the easy answer is... Oh, let's click on that and see if that's the lawsuits in Rolling Stone. Let's see. A rape on campus, retracted defamatory Rolling Stone magazine article, Written by Sabrina Erdely and originally published in November 19th, 2014. I personally believe that it happened. You know why? Because it happens at the college campuses all the time. And probably the group that did it were real super wealthy. How much do you bet? Purported group sexual assault. That's the R word. The people that do that say, oh, we ran a train on her. At the University of Virginia. The depth of depravity in Charlottesville, Virginia. Just because it was retracted doesn't mean that it wasn't real. Oh, and get this, you guys. I must be a future teller. The article claimed that UVA student Jackie Coakley had been taken to a party hosted by the UVA Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. Oh, you guys know. I'm not even going to go there. And then she was gang-ard. You know what happened. Y'all know. You know. I'm getting myself worked up. It's too early. And to some extent, I might not read the whole thing because it's going to get me irritated. The Duke lacrosse case was a widely reported 2006 criminal case in Dunham, North Carolina, United States. Here it is again, in which 3 members of the Duke University men's lacrosse team were falsely accused of R. You know they did it. Come on now. There's so many similarities. Come on. The 3 students were David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Siegelman. Oh, that sounds like a wealthy name, doesn't it? The accuser was Crystal Magnum, a student at North Carolina Central University, who worked part-time as a striptease dancer. That doesn't mean she deserves to be R'd. She alleged that the R occurred at a party hosted by the lacrosse team. Yeah, you guys know that happens all the time, unfortunately. Wouldn't you guys love to know where those guys are now? David Evans, that sounds kind of wealthy. Colin Finnerty, wealthy. And Reed Siegelman, wouldn't you guys love to know where they are right now? And I'm just reading an article. Although that was more bandwagoning than deliberately lying, I think. I don't agree with that opinion this person has. And then Jackie says, thanks, glad to be more knowledgeable about the context. They pay off people all the time. And, you know, if a young woman is gang-ard by a bunch of wealthy students, like in a fraternity, kind of like fraternity, like the Blue Brothers, fraternity. Emalgerdisburg. I can't even read that. Yeah, I want a court case with people under oath at this point. That's the saddest thing is like these young women get R'd or gang R'd. This has been going on for a very long time. And then they you know, a lot of men won't believe them. And I personally question some of those men. The Kid Cows. Reading one of the original articles that came out. Okay, we're back to Gaiman now. Okay, good. That came out, one accuser did apparently go to the police. Oh yeah, that probably went far. Oh, can't wait to hear this. And Gaiman told them he would comply with an investigation. Do they really investigate nowadays? But the victim never pursued the matter further. Yeah, I wonder why. Wonder how many threats she got. Police don't seem to care, do they? You know, there's been a lot of police officers accused of it. Rest in peace, Officer Tipping. LAPD officer that allegedly had a training accident. at the Academy. Can you believe that? Unfortunately, writers have been dealing with stuff like this for a long time, so it's hard to take seriously without more evidence. I mean, some of these might be planted, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. 97th Jackie. Yeah, that would be more reason for a mainstream outlet to cover this. Shoot an email or phone call to the New Zealand police and just slap the response or lack thereof in the article. Boom, easy. Inexorable calamity. Writers have dealt with this kind of thing before. I'd like them to get to the point here. Hold on, guys. I'm going to scroll a little bit. I do agree with this one person, local Lincolnberry. He says that's why the saying is innocent until proven guilty. I agree with that. Although I'm inclined by my opinion to think that this guy is guilty. But I do believe you need to go to a court of law and all that. Okay. I'm going to read this. Let's see. Okay, I like what this statement says. Something like, say, Bill Cosby was different when it was definitively proven and brought to a court of law. The fact Neil Gaiman went, yeah, I'll comply, let's bring it to court, after the one accuser, he's got a lot of money too, though, who didn't pursue it, makes me suspicious. Sorry, guys, I just don't want to read all. They're just giving their opinions on if he's innocent or guilty, and it should go to court, blah, blah, blah. Swan diving overseas. My knee-jerk reaction is that Gaiman's Scientology connections are trying to bury things. That's my personal opinion, too. Even though Gaiman hasn't tried to evangelize Scientology, he still identifies as part of the religion, and his parents were the head of the church in the UK. You guys know. So maybe they try preserving that legacy. Barf bags ready. Plus, the church is notoriously aggressive with PR stuff. Specifically with hiding the dirty laundry of those associated, of course. Or maybe it's not a factor at all. I'm just spitballing. And then one guy says, Rich says, sounds about right about the New Zealand police. I'm guessing he's alluding to cover up or just not doing anything. I believe there's a small Scientology center too in New Zealand where children are abused, I think. New Zealand didn't have a real huge Scientology presence, but Australia does. To me, my opinion is that it's sad to see how many men are just going on and on about, oh, it's an accusation. And, I do know there are men that are wrongfully accused sometimes. But I mean, wouldn't you want to give the woman a chance? Or don't you want to at least see the facts first? Okay, I like what this person says. Thyardone. Sensationalist media organization continues to slow burn release various statements about relationships and abusive situations set up by a famous person, which they apparently had all gathered from the start, which doesn't serve as good delivery of justice for the victims either, and frustrates me to no end. These women deserve far better. Yes, they do. burner account, 9132. Yeah, with all due respect, it's pretty fucking scuzzy that Tortoise is drip feeding this shit. These women deserve a lot of effing better than having horrid moments in their past being wrung out and slowly released for content. Yeah, that's what happens. It's like they turn the victims into, like, they further abuse them more with some of these stories. Archangel ZXV. The initial accusations before the one came at the same time that Sandman Season 2 news went out. The timing definitely felt sus, that they wanted to piggyback for bigger exposure. So they're saying, why is it always like that? It's kind of like they make it sound like someone's doing a money grab. There's so many people that do that. Plus, as others have said, that major news outlets haven't run this story cast doubt on it. I think there should still be an investigation to find the truth of it all. Okay, you guys, that's all I'm going to read. By the way, I did find another, like, it was like a social media forum. I forgot what the name of it was. And the title was that Gaiman has more victims that came out, and there's a total of 5. And then there were all kind of like little spam comments in it. I personally suspect, and it's my opinion, that those were Scientologists that were, like, not fair gamers, but people going in there to dilute the real news. Or it could have been, what do they call those? The AI bots. They could have been doing that as well. But the whole post was diluted because all that was there was the original post. So, anyways, I've got more on this. I hope that this was informative. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.